And one of the things about process development, especially in a post-merger situation, is that oftentimes as you go to define what everyone should be doing or thinks that they're doing, you find gaps. And that's really the critical piece, is to identify the gaps and then be able to close them. I say, okay, this process is needed, this process is needed. How does this impact the larger process? Does it overlap? Is it a duplicate? Are you finding redundancies? So you have to understand how each piece of the process fits into the larger, and how each part of the organization might be impacted downstream. Can the field techs go out and install it? Is it something that can the telephone be set up appropriately, or the PRI? Is the trunk group going to be impacting this major organization? Maybe they can't get calls and orders won't go through. When they were in the original legacy company, they were able to have control over more pieces of the end-to-end process. But in this new post-merger organization, the roles were split between different teams. And so everyone was having a hard time understanding exactly what that end-to-end process should look like. And the communication was very difficult to even talk about where they were in the process. It was more than just the system. It was a process development activity, right? So we brought senior leadership from each of the parts of the country in. We spent 3 days hammering out what their vision of what the process should be, and then went back to their teams and decided, and then helped them determine where the deltas were between where they currently were and where they needed to be, and then worked with IT to make the changes on the back end to the system. The cable industry is, at the end of the day, a customer-focused industry. And so when you're talking about any kind of process, it's going to impact the customer if you're not really aware of how each piece works together, right? So you have to understand, if you are putting together a process for a billing code in one of the billers, well, if someone's putting in an order and something's wrong, then the person's not going to get their phone, perhaps, or their internet, or you might not be able to bill the customer. And if that's an enterprise customer that bills $10,000 a month, that can be a problem. A process is only as good as the day it's done, right? You never want to say, this is the process, and then put it on the shelf. No, that's not how it works. You define the process, you get everyone to agree, this is where we are, and then you continually work to improve it.